And welcome to the last student update assembly on the new build. This morning I wanted to talk to you about what's happened so far, what's going to be happening over the summer holidays, and what you can expect to see on your return in September. But I wanted to start this process by giving you a short quiz, 10 questions. I think if you get more than two, you're a genius. Tutors, feel free to pause if you want some discussion around some of the images. So we're going to image number one. So quiz question number one, where might you find this round thing? So where might you find this in the new build? And the answer to question one is on the roof. So it's like a plug hole. So when we get torrential rain, like we've had the last few weeks, the water all drains through that and is taken off the build site. Quiz question number two. Who might be working out of this office and which students might be using it? It's the Sixth Form Centre office. So thank you, Mr. Bellany and Mrs. Moore, for modelling that. So year 12 and 13, that's going to be somewhere perhaps you go to occasionally. Quiz question number three. Where might you see this structure in the new build? And what might it be used for? The answer to question three is this is part of the dining room. So the dining room is also going to be an assembly presentation space. So that turquoise screen you see is a 4-screen video wall, a bit like the one in the Desborough Hall, not quite so large. And it goes around the inside of the dining hall. So that's a double height space, as you can see, and there's a walkway around that top edge. So room for 350 students, so we'll have house assemblies in the dining hall. And that's what the architect's drawing showed, so you can see the reality of it now. So quiz question number four. What are we looking at? Who might be using this space? And the answer to quiz question number four is it's actually a reception desk. So this is the staff and visitor reception desk, and that's the student reception desk. I haven't actually got any sort of drawings I can show you other than the plans. So when you need anything from reception, so it might be you've forgotten your packed lunch, you might have had your phone confiscated and need to collect it, or you might have got a message from your parents, but that's where you'll come to. So it's at the back of the dining hall, as you can see, right at the front of the building. So quiz question number five. What's this image showing? And the answer to question five is that's the lift shaft. So this is the stairwell in the center of the building, and adjacent is the lift shaft from ground floor to the second floor. Quiz question number six. An arty shot here, but what is it? Where would you find this image? What are we looking at? And the answer to question number six is it's the roof on the sports hall. It's actually going to have a few slats cut out, so there'll be more light coming in. But this is the massive sports hall that's being constructed to accommodate futsal, and that's Sport England size, so it's bigger than most sports halls. But it'll have all the other sports that you're used to, such as badminton, basketball, netball, five-a-side football, together with changing rooms, storage space, and there's actually a PE office where that blue contraption is at the back. Question number seven. Where might you see these windows? And the answer to question seven is they actually form skylights to the dining hall. So the double height dining hall will have light flooded in through these skylights. Quiz question number eight. what are we looking at in this particular image? So the answer to question 8, well, you can see this is a shaft, and if you look at the bottom, there's a tunnel, and it looks like a railway line, which it is, to take all the waste material. And it's been constructed at the front of the school. It's actually a tunnel that goes 13 metres under Mortimer Hill, and it's there to connect all our services from the new build to the existing ones, which are positioned on the other side of the road. And it's constructed simply so we don't have to shut Mortimer Hill for 6 weeks, and so we don't damage any of the other fibre optic cables and telecommunications cables that are already in the ground. So quiz question number 9. What do you think these cages in the ceilings of the corridors are used for, or have been used for? So the answer to question 9, this is actually the maths corridor, but at the moment it will be for cables, all sorts of cabling, electrical, Wi-Fi. But at the moment you can see there's a pigeon sitting on its nest with some youngsters in the nest. And the final question is, what's this room? Why has this room got extra strengthening? Why would we need security in a space in school? So what's this room used for, do you think? And the answer to question 10, this is actually the data and the examination space. So Mrs. Sharp, Mrs. Holstein and Miss Darrington will be in there, but it's to keep all the exam papers either before you take them or after you take them, because security clearly is really important. So that's your 10 questions. Be interested to know if you did get more than 2 right. The rest of the presentation, I just want to briefly take you through what's been happening. So you can see this image on the screen, and a lot of work's been going on internally. So this is what's happened. So first of all, we've been having tours for departments. Science were the first ones. You can see here's four science teachers. Modelling C46, which is a science room. And C is the top floor, so the second floor. And it's in orange because that's going to be the colour given to those floors. And I've used that for the rest of the photographs you're now going to see. So also on the top floor is the sixth form centre. So large glass screens you can see there, and then on the right there's the office that I showed you earlier. There's computer science room up there, so Mr. Bellany again, and Mr. Fielden modelling their C27 computer science room, which will have lots of computers in it and computer screens, repeater screens on the walls. What I should have said at the beginning was they start all the work from the top. So the top floor is the most complete. And as you can see, actually at the moment, it's mostly plasterboard and plastering that's occurred. On the first floor, which we're going to call B floor, and it's going to be lime green. This is B17, so this is a geography room. You can see this one's got plasterboard but hasn't been plastered yet. But again, modelled by some of our geography team. So Miss Taylor, Miss Jones and Mr. Rogers. If you need IT is actually going to be overlooking the dining hall, so that open space. So Mr. McGinnity and Mrs. Edwards will be there to help you. And you can see their room doesn't even have any light in it at the moment. The Learning Resource Centre is on the first floor. So Mrs. Watkins, Mrs. Baker will be welcoming you to that space in due course. And then on the ground floor, where we've got, they call it a teal colour. This is student services. So at the moment, lots of heads of house and attendance managers, but also the learning support and counselling services will all come out of this area. Also on the ground floor is all the design and technology rooms, so food technology and resistant materials and graphics. And here we can see Miss Corney is giving it the thumbs up. Thank you, Miss Corney. So that's where we are so far, but what can you expect both over the summer holidays and when you return? So at the moment, we're looking at a building that's got the cement plasterboard on the exterior. So when we come back, you can expect to see that bricked up, and probably round the back and the sides, the rendering will have also been put into place. But other things we'd like to do, well, we've had staff tours for departments, that will continue. We also want to create some opportunity for your parents to come around and have a look at the new build. But of course, the most important people are yourselves. So we're looking definitely at doing student tours. And so these are A-level photography students who have done some coursework linked to their studies. The Sports Dome will at some point go. Whether that'll be before Christmas, we're not quite sure yet, but it's not got long left. But the big move for us all will be towards the end of the term, because over Christmas, the modular village will be removed. So all the teachers in the modular village will be crating up all their possessions and all their books, and that will all be moved to the new build, ready for us to move into the new build in January. So there's quite a lot of work got to happen towards the end of the autumn term. And then that will lead ultimately to us being in the new build, as you see here, and then all the front of the school, so the D&T and the art and the admin rooms that we know at the moment, will all be demolished. Then there'll be a lot of landscaping around the whole site for playgrounds, for playground equipment, benches, chairs, maybe some sports equipment, basketball hoops. But at the front of the school, there's a lot of landscaping to be done, and car parking and coach parking. So lots of work during, and that will be during the spring and the summer terms, ready for a completion date of July 22. So that's the update number 13. We hope you have a great summer, and look forward to seeing you return in September with lots of new things to see. Have a good time. Thank you.